Welcome back to maths class, and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 6, and topic is, you can see on your screen. Today our topic is lines and angles, and this is the actually chapter 6 is geometry section, and we are going to start the same geometry section. And these two words, I don't think these two words lines and angles are these are the new words for you. You have already got lines and angles in your previous classes, that is in lower classes, so you must have some basic ideas about the lines and angles. And in this chapter we are going to study the properties of angles formed when two lines intersect each other, and also the properties of angles formed when a line intersects two or more parallel lines at distinct points. So before starting the chapter, before touching the exercise, I would like to remind some very common terms, some basic concept. Your basic concept should be clear, so that it will become easy for you to understand the concepts and to solve the problem at the same time. Now see, I have written here some basic terms and definition to make your study easy. So see, first, a line. You have already got in lower classes. What is a line? So a line, great mathematician Euclid defined a line as a breathless length. Breathless length, that means in this way, a straight line. You can see in the figure I have drawn. This figure is defined as a line. It is endlessly, you can see on the both hand arrow mark has been put. So this line is extending. We can extend in this way, in this direction it will continue, and in this direction it will continue in this direction also. So Euclid defined a line as a breathless length, or we can define a line. A straight line is one-dimensional figure having no thickness and extending infinitely in both the directions. A line can be denoted by a small letter. We can use a small letter like M, N, X, Y, Z, etc. You can see. So such figure, it is called a line. So I don't think it is new for you. You already got in previous class. Next is line segment. A line segment, how can you define a line segment? A part of a line with two endpoints is called a line segment. Remember, a part of a line with two endpoints. A line segment is obtained from a line having two endpoints. Two endpoints you can see here. At this end, the point name is A, and at this end, the point name is B. And if you are joining these 2 points with the help of a ruler, you will get a line segment. So AB, how we obtain the AB? Just by joining these 2 points, point A and B. So AB is called a line segment, and a line segment is denoted by, in this way, name of this line segment AB. I have written on the AB. You can see one line has been drawn. So AB is a line segment where its length is denoted by AB. Length of AB, it may be 3 cm, it may be 5 cm. So whenever the length of a line, if you are trying to denote the length of a line, just simply write AB. AB means length of line, and if you are writing AB and a line mark just above the letter, it represents a line segment. So you can see, line is endlessly, that means it will continue in this direction and it will continue in this direction. That is why arrow mark has been put here, but here see no arrow mark. That means from this line we cut from here, and we got 2 points A and B. This we can name as AB, or a line segment AB. Next, what is a ray? What is a ray? A part of a line, it is also a part of a line segment. it is also a part of a line. Ray is also part of a line. A part of a line with one endpoint is called a ray. You can see one endpoint, and for this figure, A is the endpoint, and in this direction the line segment is going. That is why I have given arrow mark here. So AB, you can see no arrow. This is the endpoint, and here no endpoint. Just on this line here we have taken a point B to represent this ray. So how can you define a ray? A part of a line with one endpoint is called a ray. This is a ray, and symbolically we can denote a ray in this way. Name of this ray AB, and an arrow mark above this AB. So we can write a ray in this way, AB arrow. Now next, you must know about the collinear points. Collinear points. 3 or more points lie on the same straight line are called collinear points. 3 or more points. If they lie on a same straight line, you can see in the figure, all these points are lying on a same straight line. How many points are here? See, A, B, C, D. All these 4 points are lying on the same straight line. Thus we can say A, B, C and D are what type of points? Collinear points. Why? Because they are lying on the same straight line. So this is the definition for collinear points. And non-collinear points. Non-collinear point, how can we define? Just opposite of it. If 3 or more points do not lie on the same straight line are called non-collinear points. You can see A, B, C and we have taken 3 points A, B and C such that they are not lying. Through this you won't be able to draw a straight line passing through all these 3 points. Do you think it will be possible to draw a straight line passing through all these 3 points? No, it won't, because see, if you are drawing a line, we can cover only these 2 points AB, C is left, and if you are trying to draw a straight line in this way, only 2 points we can cover, A and C. So with the help of 3 given non-collinear points, a polygon triangle can be drawn. We can draw a triangle. So remember, how can you define the non-collinear points? 3 or more points are said to be non-collinear if they do not lie on the same straight line. So this is the definition for non-collinear points. Come to the next topic. Our next topic is an angle. An angle is formed when 2 rays originate from the same endpoint. Try to understand. An angle is formed when 2 rays originate from the same endpoint. You can see, suppose our endpoint is B and 2 rays in this way, BA and BC. These BC and BA are 2 rays. They are originating from the same point B. So try to understand the definition. An angle is formed. When an angle is formed, if 2 rays originate from the same endpoint. For this case, endpoint is B and BC and BA ray. Both the rays are originating from the same endpoint B. So the rays making an angle are called the arms. So you can see in this figure, BA and BC are 2 rays, and the rays which makes an angle, this is the angle thus formed. So BA and BC are called the arms of the angle, and the end point is called the vertex. You can see among this we have taken A here at this here point A, and on this ray we have taken C here. So end point is B. End point of an angle, the common point is called the vertex of the angle. So remember, an angle is formed when 2 rays originate from the same endpoint, and this endpoint, the common endpoint, is called the vertex of an angle. This is about the angle. And next, types of angle. You have already got in lower classes type of angle. as you know, acute angle. Acute angle, that means measures between 0 degree to 90 degree. Right angle, if the angle measurement is exactly 90 degree, then it is called right angle. Obtuse angle, having measurement 90 degree but less than 180 degree. If an angle measurement is ranging from 90 to 180 degree, it is called obtuse angle. A straight angle, which makes exactly equal to 180 degree. A straight angle in this way. Suppose a straight line, this is a straight line, and suppose one point here we have taken and one point here A, here B. So see, at this point, since AOB is a straight line, since it is a straight line, so it is, we can say, a straight angle, and its measure is always 180 degree. So this is the straight angle. Now next one, a reflex angle. A reflex angle, that means greater than 180 degree but less than 180 degree but less than 360 degree. It is called a reflex angle. More terms are related with the geometry, with lines and angles. So complementary angles. Come to this topic, complementary angles. Two angles are said to be complementary if their sum is exactly 90 degree. If on adding two different angles and sum, if you are getting exactly 90 degree, the angles are said to be complement to each other. You can see with the help of a figure, I am going to explain it. Suppose ABC is an angle and B is the common point. B is called the vertex of angle ABC, and on the same point B, through this point again one ray has been drawn, that is BD. So as a whole, this whole angle, that is angle ABC, has been divided into two parts. Suppose this part and this part. And if you are, suppose you know the angle measurement of this, suppose it is 30 degree and suppose it is 60 degree. If you add these two parts, adjacent angle of these two, and see, on adding, if you are adding 30 plus 60, you will get 90 degree. So such angles are called complementary angles. That means two angles are said to be complementary if their sum is exactly 90 degree. On adding two different adjacent angle, and if you are getting exactly 90 degree, the angles are said to be supplement. So see here, what is the name of this angle? ABD, and name of this angle DBC. On adding these two, we got 90 degree. So we can say angle ABD and angle DBC are complementary angles. This is about the complementary angle. Their sum should be 90 degree. But what's about the supplementary angles? Two angles are said to be supplementary if their sum is exactly 180 degree, or two right angles. Two right angles, as you know, one right angle, that means 90 degree. So two right angle, same 180 degree. So two angles are said to be supplementary if their sum is 180 degree. You can see 180 degree, that means a straight angle, an angle formed on a straight line. You can see AOB, this is a straight angle or a straight line, and on the point, through the point O, we have drawn a ray OC. So after drawing this ray OC, the straight angle has been divided into two parts. This part, angle AOC, and this part also, angle COB. On adding these two angles, suppose this is 120 degree. We have taken this angle measurement. It is not actual measurement, we have assumed. Suppose this angle is 180 degree and suppose this angle measurement is 60 degree. So if you add them, 120 plus 60, it will become 180 degree. So such type of angles whose sum is exactly 180 degree are called supplementary angles. So see, on adding these two parts, angle AOC and angle BOC, we got 180 degree. So we can say angle AOC and angle BOC are supplement to each other. Next, adjacent angle. Adjacent angle. Two angles are adjacent if they have a common vertex and a common arm. Two angles are said to be adjacent. Try to understand. Two angles are said to be adjacent if they have common vertex and a common arm. You can see two angles in this figure. Two angles. This is first angle. This is second angle. And you can see these two angles have their common arm. Which arm is common? BD is common. This ray is common for this angle also, for this angle also. So these type of angles are called adjacent angle. They have one common arm, so they are called adjacent angle. This is about the adjacent angle. So you can see for this figure, angle ABD, which one? ABD, this angle, and angle DBC, these two angles are said to be adjacent. Then come next topic. This is the important topic, linear pair of angles. Linear pair of angles. When the sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, try to understand, when the sum of two adjacent angle is exactly 180 degree, they are called linear pair of angles, or if non-common arm form a line. You can see this angle, two angles has been formed here. This angle, angle AOC and angle BOC, and remember they are formed on the same straight line AOB. So on adding these two angles, you will get a straight line, a straight angle. So on adding these two angles, be sure we are going to get 180 degree. So this is the definition for linear pair of angles. When the sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, they are called linear pair. Or if non-common arm form a line, you can see OA and OB are non-common arm, but OC is the common arm for these two angles. So if non-common arm form a straight line, you can see OA and OB both form a straight line AOB. So this type of adjacent angle are called linear pair of angles. Here non-common arms OA and OB form a line AOB. Just I explained. This is about the linear pair of angles. Next topic is vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. See, I have drawn two straight line AB and CD. The line AB and CD, they are intersecting at point O. So which two angles are said to be vertically opposite angle? See, we have taken two line segment AB and CD, and both the line segment are intersecting at point O. So you can see four angles has been formed here. This, suppose we are naming this angle as angle 1, this is angle 2, this is angle 3, and suppose this is angle 4. So if two lines intersect each other, four angles can form, and our topic is vertically opposite angles. So see, for this angle, which angle is opposite for this angle? You can see angle 1. We are taking angle 1. So angle 1 opposite is angle 3. These two pair of angles are called vertically opposite angles. So we can write angle 1 and angle 3 are vertically opposite angle. The vertically opposite angles. So in the same way, angle 2 and angle 4 are said to be vertically opposite angle. And remember, vertically opposite angles are always equal. We can put equal sign here. So when two straight lines intersect at a certain point, you will get 4 thus angle formed. Number of angles formed, it will be 4, and angle 1 for this case 1 and 3, these pair of angles are called vertically opposite angles, and the same way 2 and 4 are called vertically opposite angles. And remember, measurement of vertically opposite angles are always same, always equal. So what you came to know about the vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angles are formed when two straight lines intersect each other at a certain point. So based on that vertically opposite angle, we came to know the pair of vertically opposite angles are always equal to each other, and this is a theorem. We are going to prove this theorem with the help of geometry. This is theorem number 6.1. And what is the theorem? See, if two lines intersect each other, then prove that vertically opposite angles are equal. If two lines intersect each other, try to understand. Suppose this is first line. We have taken a straight line in this way, and we are naming it AB. And next line, suppose CD. This is our second line, CD. And both are intersecting. You can see AB and CD intersect each other at O. So you can see after intersection of these two lines at point O, how many angles are formed here? 4 angles. This is first angle, second angle, third angle, and fourth angle. So we need to prove for this, according to this theorem, we are asked to prove vertically opposite angles are equal. That means 1 and 3 are vertically opposite angles. We are going to prove these two opposite angles, vertically opposite angles are equal. In the same way, angle 2 will be equal to angle 4. So see, I have drawn two straight lines, AB and CD. Both are intersecting at point O, and you can see 4 angle has been formed, 1, 2, 3, 4. So vertically opposite angle, and these two are said to be vertically opposite angle. This angle will be equal to this. We are going to prove. In the same way, this angle will be equal to this. So see, this is theorem proof. So we are going to start our solution. Let AB, line AB, let AB and CD, these two line segment, these two line intersect each other at point O. Okay, and we are asked to prove vertically opposite angles are equal. That means, how will you write this? We are not going to show the angle with the numbers like as you used to do in lower classes, 1, 2, 3. Name of this angle we are going to write. We are going to represent this angle with the help of 3 letters. AOC, name of this angle. AOC, angle AOC will be equal to which angle? These two are vertically opposite angle. So this angle, we are asked to prove these two pair of vertically opposite angles are equal. Name of this angle BOD. Same way, we have written these two. We are going to show these two vertically opposite angles are equal, and this pair of vertically opposite angles are equal. Name of this angle, these two angle, name of this angle AOD. Angle AOD will be equal to angle, this angle BOD. BOC. Name of this angle is angle BOC. So we are going to prove this. And how can we prove these pair of vertically opposite angles are equal? With the help of linear pair. Okay, see. Now try to understand in the figure. CD is a straight line, COD is a straight line, and on this straight line we have drawn a ray OA. So since it is a straight line, the angles sum of the adjacent angle is how much? 180 degree. So we have now first we are taking COD as a straight line, and these two angles sum we are going to show 180 degree. Which two angle? This angle and this angle. Name of this angle AOC and name of this angle AOD. So this is the proof section. Proof. We can write sum of these two angle is how much? 180 degree. Why? Because these two adjacent angle has been formed on the straight line COD. So name of this angle AOC, angle AOC plus angle, name of this angle AOD. Sum of these two adjacent angle 180 degree. Why? Because they are linear pair. They are the adjacent angle formed on the same straight line COD. So in short you can write here linear pair. And this we are making first equation. In the same way, in the next step we are going to show, see, first we have taken sum of these two angles 180 degree. Next we are going to take these two angles, sum is 180 degree. Name of this angle AOD and name of this angle BOD. So sum of these two angles under linear pair we can write 180 degree, because see, these two angles has been formed on the same straight line. They are the adjacent angle formed on the straight line AOB. This is the straight line. On this angle, sum of these two angle 180 degree. So we can write angle AOD plus angle this angle. We have written AOD. Now we are going to write BOD, angle BOD 180 degree. Why? Because they are also linear pair. They are the angles formed on the same straight line. They are the adjacent angle formed on the same straight line. So there, and we are going to make this one as second equation. Okay. Now compare these two equations. See, this is our first equation and this is our second equation. So on comparing these two, see their right hand side. Right hand side is 180 degree and it is also 180 degree. So if you are comparing two equation and suppose their right hand part is equal, if their right hand part is equal, so we can write left hand of first equation will be equal to left hand of second equation. So we are going to, since their right hand side is equal 180 degree, so we are going to write left hand of first equation equal to, we are going to show left hand of first equation equal to left hand of second equation. So we are comparing from 1 and 2, from equation 1 and 2, left hand of first equation, this part, angle AOC plus angle AOD equal to left hand part of first equation equal to left hand part of second equation, AOD plus angle BOD. Now see, AOD is here. If you transfer to that side, it will become minus AOD. So in that circumstances you can cancel AOD and AOD. So we are cancelling here AOD. So what is left here? Angle AOC is equal with angle BOD. See, angle AOC, finally we got this relation, angle AOC. See in the figure, angle AOC is equal with angle BOD. That means we have proved this pair of vertically opposite angles are equal. So similarly you can prove these two angles, vertically opposite angles, are also equal. So just by writing similarly both, you can write similarly we can prove we have proved angle AOC is equal with angle BOD. These two angles we have proved, angle AOC, angle BOD. And similarly we can prove just by repeating the same process. That means again you need to make two equations, so no need of showing this. So directly you can write similarly we can prove these two pair of vertically opposite angles are equal. That is, angle AOD will be equal to angle BOC. Similarly we can prove angle AOD will be equal to angle BOC. So in this way we have proved, hence we proved the first theorem, that is theorem 6.1 of this chapter, hence proved.